Hey, welcome back to the Success Playbook. I'm Jatin Solanki, and today we are joined by the two trailblazers in the sustainable fashion industry, the co founders of Roar for Good, Mr. Rajan Pillai and Mr. Rajan Dutta. They have turned floral waste and plastic into eco stylist apparel and footwear while planting trees with every sale. Welcome, Rajanji. Welcome, Rajanji. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Great. Absolutely. Delighted to be here.
Thank you, Jatin. Glad to be here. Thanks.
Amazing, amazing, and I'm really glad that I have you today on the episode, and I'm sure the audience will learn a lot from your experience, from your entrepreneurial journeys. So let's dive into it. Mr. Pillai, you had an illustrious career in fashion and retail, and even helped launch brands like Being Human with Mr. Salman Khan. What was the experience like working with a celebrity driven brand and ensuring profitability, charity, and managing scale?
Hey, thank you, Sir Jatin, again for having me here. Well, working with celebrities has its own ups and downs. Okay. But I think for us, the focus was very clear. The brand is into charity. We just wanted to ensure that whatever we do reflects those things. And working with, Mr. Salman has always been great. 2 years with him was pretty good. We did the complete concept. How will we go forward? How the brand has to look? Will it reflect what Salman is doing? So there were a lot of things before we really started the brand. So I think, when we started, it just boomed, because the consumer was waiting for something to come. Plus, the most of the things, what happens, the business, it all goes to charity. So there was a cost. So there was always something which was good for the people around him. And what he always wanted to do something for the people. And that's why this brand was started. So it has its own fashion, it has a celebrity angle, and it also had a charity angle. So I think all put together was a combination which, I believe it's still working. I was with them for 2 years. So it was a good experience, I would say. Thank you.
Amazing. Amazing. Good to know that. And if you can share some story from that time, how was the experience? How did it all start for you and how the scaling happened? Of course, if you can share some fun story from that time. Yeah.
I think, like I said, first and foremost was basically creating something which is in line with the persona of, Salman Khan. I think that is where people expect. We couldn't do even, 1% cutting here and there because people expect it to look. Whatever we do, it need to reflect Mr. Khan, right? I think that was the first thing. And I think working with him, he's a very, I would say, down to earth guy when you meet him in person. So we had a lot of our, good times, meeting him at various places, Esra Studio, Playbook Studio, because he's always in shooting those days. And those things, the Abang was undershoot when we were, starting this brand. We used to visit him with all the products. We used to carry all the products and, he want to go to every product we launched. That's the involvement we had. He had impact in the brand. And I think, like I said, because the scale was so big, we wanted to scale it so big. It was a day and night work, opening the store has its own pros and cons. The first store we opened on Link Road, all of us know, it was one of the best launch ever happened. And meeting him always good, because he's such a nice guy to, be with him and all this sort of thing. But I think he doesn't get into those understanding of business much, but he's very clear that anything you make need to reflect what Salman Khan is, what is Being Human all about. I think those are the things we ensured that we reflect, and we don't go out of it. We wanted to ensure that what we do has that charm, the quality, the finish, the price, the value for money, and the design aspect of it. I think all together was what we did with Salman.
Amazing. Amazing. And how was the launch experience?
Oh my God. I think that was one of the craziest launch we ever had. I think the linking road was completely choked those days because the whole family was there. All his friends were there. If you name zoos of, Bollywood were all there. So you can understand, the people were absolutely daring. It was very difficult to control those days. Wherever I took him, even after that, whenever I opened the store, I used to take him. It was always difficult to control the crowd because, he was so famous those days, even now he's famous. But people just come, flock to see him and all this thing. But I think that was one of the best launch we had. I remember that people just parked the car on the road and left because they couldn't move. The 3-4 kilometer traffic was there. People just left because it was not moving at all because,
Right.
the family was.
Wow. No, very, very, very interesting thing to know. And I'm sure it must be a very overwhelming experience in terms of the launch and glad.
It was also a big tension because we didn't want to do anything wrong, because that will immediately reflect on his persona, right, and on his career. So we didn't want to ensure that everything matches his persona and what his people's perception about him is, right. And at the same time, like I said, it is a charity, right? So we wanted to ensure that, we do something which also, helps, the people around him. That
Right.
is, I think, was yeah.
That's so amazing, I think, and so good to see how the brand flourished and how it's of course something everyone looks up to as a brand to kind of own a being human in the fashion space. So really good work, which of course you and the team kind of put together at being human. So good to hear about the story, Mr. Datta. I think you bring like decades of HR leadership experience from, of course, different companies, working right from Reliance to Airtel to Idea Cellular to Lupin. How did your deep understanding of people, culture, corporate structure influence your decisions into this, and this how is coming into this eco driven startup which you're starting? So if you can share a bit about your corporate journey.
Well, thank you, Jatin. I think it's been an interesting time in my own professional and personal career over the last 4 decades. The initial 3 decades, I actually spent working with large corporates, directly working with chairmen and boards of these organizations into diverse kinds of businesses across India and across the globe. And while I did that, while it was basically focusing on business growth, it was also to do a lot to do with people development, talent. While working with all these systems, I also did a lot of work in terms of quality, which is Six Sigma, TPM, first knowledge management, business process and engineering. And while doing that, also a fair large work in the area of CSR, in
Right.
corporate social responsibilities. And in each of these companies, large corporates, there was a humongous amount of work that one has done work in the social circuit and also in the social forum while one was associated with CII, FICCI, SHM, National HRD Network, and the like. One kind of supported these social fraternities in a lot of people and talent and their development and leadership and culture causes. While doing that, in the subsequent 10 years, one kind of got associated to do even furthermore work across the globe with diverse kinds of businesses and people. Now, one of the things which one realizes that while we focused on business and we focused on people, we also, and while we did a lot of work on CSR, this aspect of thing which looked like very unfulfilled in my own heart was to go back directly to people and touch the human directly. And this aspect of work that we do, sustainability, eco-friendly products that we kind of work together to develop and to kind of offer to the community at large was with a particular cause and a purpose for humanity of health and happiness. And that was the key quotient where we focused on, and our products and whatever we generate are directly connecting to our own cause and purpose of human happiness and health, which are the key verticals of our businesses.
Amazing. No, good to hear about how it has shaped up from your corporate structure to then doing this. And if you can, of course, I mean, it was a vast experience of 4 decades into corporate. So if you can kind of share some starking difference between, of course, starting up now to your 4 decades of experience and how the journey has been. So if you can, and what brought you into kind of your entrepreneurial journey, because someone who has been so long enough into corporates, it kind of becomes like from one corporate to another to leadership roles across different top companies which you have of course worked at. From there to coming to an entrepreneurial journey is kind of a starking difference. So what was the calling, or what was the defining moment which helped you decide and choose and say that, hey, I'm of course getting into this? Yeah.
The most important thought which you shared was the inner call. And the inner call actually happened maybe working with the large corporates, being at the apex, absolutely at the top echelon of the management, working directly with boards and chairmen for 3 decades. Then a call came in that one had least a top ceiling and one was doing a very repetitive kind of a work. And hence, the idea was to come out of corporate and look at a larger eco space and actually service and help mid and small size organization in whatever humble knowledge and wisdom one had to support them in their own business as well as people and people happiness and aspect of also doing certain work in the area of CSR. While we did all of that in the subsequent couple of years, one came across working with Mr. Pillai to really work together and evolve something to look for something which we can do for people at large and business at large, where we can engage and involve with our purpose and cause to support humanity and health and happiness. And that's what really kind of getting the inner call to really move from corporate to entrepreneurial, and entrepreneurial to this aspect of entrepreneurship of getting into road for good. And road for good, primarily, it's not only very philanthropic, that is one aspect of it, but also to business, because the name itself is roar for good, and roaring something goodness for all stakeholders, for partners, vendors, employees, all associated people, and social cause, humanity in general, which directly links to the kind of key essence of our inner call that has always been there for certain community and humanity.
Amazing. Good to know about the ethos of the brand, and good to know how your inner calling kind of brought you into entrepreneurship. And then, of course, your association with Mr. Pillai got you to kind of, both of you to kind of start this. Mr. Pillai, from like just a question to you, how did kind of this, and I always say that like finding a co-founder is as good as kind of finding a marriage partner. So how did kind of this association with Mr. Dutta happen? Of course, you wanted to be in the fashion space because you have been in fashion before this. But yeah, I mean that's from the idea standpoint. But how did this association happen? How did, like, and when did you both kind of came together and decided that hey, we are going to be the co-founders to kind of begin this journey? Yeah, how was that?
So I think I'd like to take a little go back about 4 5 years just to give you the brief, so at least you get a better perspective of it. Been in this industry for almost 27 plus years, basically fast fashion, but working for, industries, the big corporates over my life, I always wanted something in mind that, we should do something which would help the environment and people around us. But because we were working for, the corporations and all, where identities are very different. So we went with that. But I always wanted to know that whenever I start something, I will do something which is meaningful. That's where, about 4 years back, 5 years back, when we wanted to do a transformation of our companies, policies and processes and, admins and HRs and all this, we're looking for a good partners who can help us, because we were very scaling very fast in Apex. So that's where we, connected with Extra. So Mr. Datta's company called Extra, that's where we connected and we have them on board. So that's where the relationship started, Of course, we never did this at that time, but even after 2 3 years, whenever we were always in touch. After I think Extra with us was for there almost 2 to 3 years with FX, doing this transformation complete, putting so whenever Mr. Datta came back, we always in touch, So Mr. Datta used to always say, whenever you come back, let's start something, let's start something. So I was always saying that, okay, so whenever I come back, I need to do something which is, has a story in it, which is having a meaning in that. I didn't want to get back into fast fashion because, as we all know, fast fashion is the biggest polluter for this environment as of today, right? So we didn't want it to get at this age specifically. So we want to do something which had some meaning, after 5 years, after 10 years, people should say, okay, this guy did something, at a small scale. But I think there is some reason for it. Fast fashion, we make fast money. Making money in fast fashion is much easier. But we are taken a path where, we want to do something which is very long run. We know the situation today about Mother Earth. We know the situation. The earth is warming. There is, flooding. It's chaos. So we do our bit, and that's where when I came back, we connected each other. We said, okay, this sounds good. This is what we should do. I know it will take a little more time than fast fashion, but I thought we will go slow and steady. And that's where we started. And I think the ideology matched, I think the thought process matched, and we thought it is a journey to start together. And that's how we started this journey. So we are 2 years into this now, so still learning. India, like I said, India is still very nascent to eco-friendly. They don't understand eco-friendly because we are a very fast fashion country, So it's all about educating them. It's all about telling them why they should be part of the cause, why should they join this cause, and how they can help. And more the community, the better for all of us. So that's how we connected, and that's how we started. The reason to have the name itself is because of that. Our aim is to roar, to do something good. So we'll keep roaring for something good.
Amazing. No, that's a really interesting story, kind of what you have put together, and good to know about how the association started, and both of you had that hunger to start. Wonderful, Mr. Pillai. So yeah, I mean, you aim to be the biggest sustainable fashion brand by 2030. Can you share some numbers in terms of like the bottles recycled, trees planted, revenue goals? Like, do you have some goals and mission for the brand? So Mr. Pillai, any thoughts on that?
I think, like I said, we are a lifestyle brand. I think we are the first lifestyle brand in India. So when I say lifestyle, means we cater to the head to toe. Our aim is to cater to head to toe. So today we do basically apparel, footwear, and accessories for both men and women. As we move forward, we'll go into more and more category, which is in line with the brand's DNA. So we'll not go out of the brand's DNA as far as things are concerned. The future is all about eco-friendly and sustainable. That's the future. We all know that. It's just a matter of time. It's going to take 2 years or 3 years or 4 years, 5 years. It all depends on how the government is also supporting the whole ecosystem. But if you look at Europe and US and the other part of the world, they're already into the space, right? They're all into eco-friendly and sustainable space. So the market is huge globally. It's about 9 billion or whatever we want to call it, right? But like I said, we are very clear as we move forward from here, we want to ensure that first and foremost, the customer is understanding what we're trying to do. Okay, it's all about they are also getting pepped up. Chalo, let us also be part of this journey, right? So I think that's the first journey we want to pass on. Since we are online now, we are online through marketplaces and in our own website. We plan to go offline, right, in the next 2 months and 3 months' time. And that is where the scale is. Because Indians today still like to have touch and feel. Whatever I say to you, if you are not touching and feeling about the product, you are not going to appreciate it. So that is where we want to go offline now. And we want to, I can guarantee you, the touch and feel, you'll buy it. Okay, because that's where, and then I educate you how we are going to help it out. So we are going to take a very systematic approach. We want to be about 400 to 500 point of sales in the next 2 to 3 years. Okay, on the offline part of it. The online, which always going to go smaller parts because that's about 10 point of sales. But the offline is going to about 500, 600 point of sales in the next 2 to 3 years. Plus, when we this, that will add to us another 3 to 400 point of sale. So overall, about 1,000 point of sales in the next 2 to 3 years, we know that we'll be able to reach about 700 to 1,000 crores in the next 5 to 6 years' time. So that's the plan. But I think the first and foremost is to bring the brand's trust and the credibility in front of the consumer. Till the time they don't trust us, they don't believe us, whatever I try to do, it's not going to work, right? So first of all, we have to be true to ourselves, what we're trying to do. At the same time, we must start believing what this gentleman is talking is true or not. And then the product reflects what I'm trying to say. So that is how the synergy is going to come together. So if I'm able to get both three aspects together, then we are in a better win-win situation. So that's our aim. The 1,000 crores, 7,000 crores, that's just a number. Am I achieving it sustainably is very important. And at the same time, we are not doing out of our ideology what we want to do for other environment.
Right.
This is what.
No, amazing. I think there's of course a lot of awareness which is needed in the space. Of course, for a consumer, it is just are we kind of buying a shirt or a t-shirt or like is the material good enough? That's how a consumer kind of looks at it. Maybe they look at it from the price point of view. But of course, the generation today is more aware. They know that what they are buying, is it actually kind of, is it actually sustainable? Is it not sustainable? Is it actually good for the environment? Because that's how if it is good for the environment, it is good for the future, and that's how kind of you're taking it ahead. So if you can kind of shed some light, Mr. Pillai, on that part as well, like what a consumer would kind of think on when they are kind of buying a sustainable product, and what are the aspects they should keep in mind. Is it going to be more expensive than fast fashion? If yes, then is it going to be long lasting? And will it be kind of like how will it be net for a consumer? So if you can shed some light there. Yeah.
So I think first and foremost, the Indian consumer always look for value for money. Okay, that's in the mind. First and foremost, fortunately, it has to be sustainable. It has to be cheap. But cheap is not always going to be good, right? So you wear it today, throw it tomorrow, right? That is cheap for us. So I'm wearing it today, I'm throwing it tomorrow. So what are you going to do? Your environment, you're damaging the environment. Because anything which is going to take ages to degrade. Okay, it is going to last there, it's going to choke the environment, it's going to choke the earth, right? It's not going to breathe. So what we are trying to do is that our product basically, first and foremost, the customer will say that eco-friendly means expensive. No, I am not in that field. I don't want to feel that way because it is eco-friendly, it's expensive. So we have kept pricing in such a way which is affordable. For example, if you take a normal polo t-shirt or a polo or a tech, it's about 1,000 to 2,600. So that's a very basic price, and I'm giving you organic cotton, goat certified, and 1190 at 1690. Okay. So that's buying an innerwear which is made from bamboo. Okay. Innerwear I'm selling for 490 to 590. You buy a cotton for 490 to 590. So I'm not eco-friendly. I'm pricing it 1,000 rupees and you get a normal underwear for 500. I'm not into that business. Like I told you before, my aim is that the consumer start wearing it, experiencing it, enjoying it, and feel that the moment I bought a T-shirt which is eco-friendly, I am also reducing that carbon emission in the environment. About feeling part of the cause, joining the cause, and proud that I'm wearing something which is very meaningful. Unless I'm proud, for you it's just a T-shirt or it's just a product for you. You should flaunt it saying that today I'm wearing organic cotton, which is both certified and which is natural friendly. So that is why we are going to do a lot of our marketing communication is going to be educating the customer. Why we are different. Friendly doesn't mean that it is not fashion, it's not performance, it's not value for all is there. Icing on the cake is I am eco-friendly. That's the icing on all the other parameters already. I am fashion, I am performance, quality wise, everything. That's our guarantee. But we are also eco. That is where the consumer need to understand that. My friend, let's move into here and understand that why have we started our own lab? We have our own lab called Rogue Lab, where we design, we sample, we manufacture. The reason we do that is because we want to bring the traceability and the authenticity that every product made is real. Unfortunately, India is a Gujarat country. So people will say this is this, but they are never going to show you a certificate. I'll show you a certificate. Okay? So that is the traceability and authenticity I want to bring into whatever I try to do. That's why it is going to take a slow pace, but whatever we make has a meaning and there is a story behind it. Right. It's not just making a food. I am making a journey which has a lot of meaning in it. That's what our aim is.
No, amazing. I think you've put it in a very beautiful way how it should matter for the consumer and how you're kind of pricing it right, as well as providing them with the best quality of product, which will feel good on their skin. So something which will also help with the carbon emissions and will also be good for the planet. So really amazing thing you've kind of put together with Roar for Good. Your brand's craftsmanship, from transparent recycling to unique try-on shoes, floral waste conversions, bamboo innerwears. Like what's non-negotiable in terms of the design philosophy at Roar for Good? I think people wear it because the first element is there's a fashion element, right? It has to look good on me. I think that's the first perspective. Why is it I'm buying this, right? Or will it look good on me or not? Right? That's the first part. Second is that is it value for money, right? Can I get at a price where it is, valuable, for me? Third is that the performance, the materials, and all these things are, right? So that's how the journey of a consumer is all about. First is the fashion. Oh, this is attracting me. Second is the price. Oh, is it cheap? The word cheap. Sorry, I use the word cheap. But that is what people know. Is it cheap? 200 rupees में t-shirt मिल रहा है, 300 rupees great. I wear it for 3 months, I told, right? That disposable mindset is where we need to change now of our consumer. Right. The material I use today for good is, we use organic cotton is what I'm wearing today. So organic cotton, what is the difference between organic cotton and cotton? In organic cotton, we don't use pesticide. That's why it is organic. Because you don't use pesticide. Then what happens is that you also use less amount of water. Water. And it is pesticide free. So that's organic. It has to be certified. It's not because Rajan Pillai is saying it is organic cotton, you believe it. But my teacher is certified, right? Then we use bamboo. So bamboo, as you know, is the softest fabric ever on earth. And that's the material which stretches four-way. It is so soft and it is breathable. And it comes from it comes from Mother Earth. And bamboo is the fast growing grass in the world. So if you keep your eye on the bamboo for a week, you can see it's growing. That's why it's so tall, right? It takes its own resources. So I'm not damaging the environment. So that's bamboo, right? All my innerwears, my socks are made from bamboo, right? We use hemp, we always weed, right? It's, if I would a very crude way, it's called ganja or whatever you want to call it, right? In India, the government has now approved for medical purposes. Otherwise, it comes from Nepal and Afghanistan. So hemp is natural. It comes from plant, right? So when you're wearing something which is coming natural, because your body is also natural, right? So when nature and the body comes together, both connecting, there is a synergy. But when you put something synthetic on your body, that synthetic is over, I'm going to harm you. But they are not thinking that. Why? Because I'm getting it cheap. Getting a polyester t-shirt, I'm getting a nylon t-shirt cheap, so I'm buying it.
But I'm not saying what implications of those things. So when we are using material like jute, now jute is a golden fiber of India. What happens is because jute is made in India, so we have never valued it. So for us, jute at sack bag. That's it. So jute has never gone beyond that. Europe, they have gone into fashion with jute, and ladies are made from jute. So then we use material like linen. We use the shoe collection, the sneaker which is coming out is made from rubber sole. So rubber is natural, right? So again, we are using natural product. It's our own mold. We are use our own mold. We are launching something called tencel, denim collection in tencel. Now tencel is something which comes from eucalyptus tree. Anything we do has a story in it. So what happens to the denim is that it's so soft, it's so silky. From far, it looks like denim, but it's soft and good for your body. These material specifications we have, like we have one T-shirt which is organic cotton but flower dyed. Okay, now you just imagine the story, right? Now, how many brands tell such stories to you? No brand tells a story. What they tell is that fashion hai, of 100 rupees mein 3 piece, 100 rupees mein 4 piece. They've never talked anything else. I am talking something. You see the flower dye, so good. In Chennai, Tamil Nadu, we have so many temples. Right? The flowers are getting collected. There is a company who collects all the flowers. And it's a very tedious process because everything natural is hand processed. Okay, machine is very less used. It's all hand. So it takes time. So that's why the cost is always higher. But the Europeans appreciate what we are trying to do. And they are ready to pay a premium. We don't pay a premium. They are ready to pay a premium. And the flower, all the dye comes from flower. It is extracted from. If you look at my website, I've shown how the color has been made out. So unless until you don't appreciate it, you'll never buy me. Right? So you need to be appreciating what we are trying to do. That's the only time it will work. So materials are going to use plenty of materials, which is good. And second part of what happened is because India is not very ready for eco-friendly, finding a material is also very difficult. Right? So it was a lot of time. It took us almost a year to build the infrastructure. Because MOQ issues, you have MOQ issues, this cannot be made, that cannot be made. So it took a lot of time for us to reach. We want to ensure that the infrastructure is ready. Then we go and start, selling the product. That's why it took a little. The reason to put our own factory is also because of that. Because there was a huge MOQ. Oh, we can only make 5,000 pieces. I'm a bootstrap company. I cannot buy 5,000 for one item. I can only buy 50 pieces. Help me out. It took a lot of time for us.
Right.
But now we are set. We are set, of our insoles. The shoe insoles are made, we are tied up with a company called Ortholite. Ortholite is one of the world's largest insole making company. And it has a story because it's ortho. Right?
Wow.
So we spent money on building good product for us. That's what I'm talking.
No, amazing. I think, Mr. Pillai, there is a lot of innovation I can see which you have kind of brought together. Right from the products, the kind of raw materials you use in it, including like bamboo, jute, all kind of innovative, even the flowers, and kind of making everything about sustainability. There's a lot of innovation, a lot of R&D you have put into the product, and I'm sure that will be reflected in the product and will be loved by the consumers, and that will kind of is the only way to kind of create a long lasting impression on a customer and creating a long lasting business, long lasting brand. So glad to hear about that story. And yeah, I mean that, and I'm sure, I mean, Roar for Good will kind of make its mark really big in the sustainable fashion space. Mr. Datta, you also have a partner model, because as you kind of scale, you would want others to also join you in your mission, in your vision, and to basically grow your venture. And of course, you have been doing really well on the online space, and now you're also planning to get into the offline space. So people like our listeners and everyone who is interested in joining your mission, vision, how can they kind of become your partner? What kind of expectation do you have from them? If you can shed some light on a Roar for Good partner and the opportunity they have before them.
Very pertinent question. In fact, over the last couple of quarters, what we have also observed, we've had large number of people coming from other parts of the world, especially from South Korea, Australia, Canada, UK, New Zealand, who have visited us. And the guys have been extremely excited with the kind of our designs, the quality of the product, the whole content, and the price points. And they want us to be there. Our idea was actually twofold. One was to really first build the brand. Strategically, that's how we had planned. because the education level understanding of eco-friendliness within the country was something we needed to do so that people get to know about sustainability and eco-friendly, and hence we have invested a lot and we continue to invest on educating people. Secondly, thought process as a strategically was to really build the brand recall within India and then go outside. While we have actually done that, we find besides online, if we need to really explore and grow, we need to have the people to really touch and feel the products. And one of the ways to really get to the market is to go offline. Though we have initially opened SIS stores in Pune, and we're opening a couple of them in Chennai and South and Tamil Nadu, but we thought the bigger, other faster way to really reach out to the other markets was to have 25, 30 more franchisees, large outfits, franchisees. And one of the key aspects of our purpose and goals and values of our organization is to really share, the benefits, share the goodness, and goodness also in terms of growth. And that's how we came out to really work through our design on our franchisee model, which is extremely, extremely attractive. And that is something which will benefit all people who come and be our partners, because we are pretty comfortable and confident about our products and the kind of new products that we have developed, and we continue to evolve, innovate, and continue to go back, place it in the market. We wanted people to really touch and feel. So a larger output in the country, they get to see the product and appreciate the what kind of products that we are doing and how it's going to benefit each individual in their own personal life. It's not only the style, look and feel, but also in health and glow. Along with that, the partners who are actually going to be partnering in the franchisee scheme, the scheme that we have designed and what we have kind of conceived is something where our focus is more on the partners growing, and there has to be a wealth creation that we are working out for each of the partners who get associated with us.
Right. No, amazing. I think, Mr. Datta, I think you've put a very beautiful point here that each of the partner, like it's very important for anyone who joins your mission vision, not only of course to do good for the environment, to create an impact in the sustainable fashion space, to join you in your mission, but also their growth is as a business for them to kind of expand with you. Their growth is equally important, and anytime these partners doing well will only result in more partners wanting to kind of expand your brand. So really you've put it in a very, very beautiful way. Like if someone wants, like, what kind of profile of the partners are you kind of looking at, Mr. Datta, for people to become your partner, and what kind of support can they expect from you as a brand? So if you can highlight something on that as well.
See, the important thing is people, it's not only about money, but also people who bring in certain values which are, and they understand and appreciate our basic purpose, concept, and cause behind why we are into this business. Money is something which will come by, that we are quite sure. And the model what we have actually structured in terms of the franchises and distributors, I think that's something we are pretty sure that we have kept our customers and our partners first in mind as we go along. As we go along, everybody's going to make money, but we have kept the customers first. The other thing is, we would actually like people with aligned thoughts of that there is a cause. This is not a fast fashion kind of a business. This is something which is more related to eco-friendly, sustainability, and environmental friendly, which we are helping the environment. And also in the whole process, we are actually also sharing and providing them absolutely updated, high-tech, and good-looking products, good style products at an optimum price, and something which will actually help also individuals, not only the environment, also including their individual health. you know so all these things. And as we do that, as far as we are concerned, we will continue to provide them full support in structuring and putting together their franchisee outlets, supporting them into systems, policy, processes, products, training, hand holding, supporting marketing their products, advertising, brand building. So we are completely with them partner, working thick and thin with them with a clear motive that we make them successful.
Amazing, amazing. No, that's the kind of hand holding any partner would expect, and really kind of you've chalked it out really well on how Roar for Good and your team would of course kind of be supporting the partners on and ensuring their success, because like the success of the partner directly will then reflect to the success of RFG as well. So that's really a beautiful way how you have kind of put all of this together. Mr. Pillai, for you, I also read that you have been expanding online. You've been doing Flipkart, Amazon, Ajio, different expansion which has been there. And then of course there is your offline expansion plan, EBOs, which now you plan to kind of go into. And then there are also global collaborations. So what's next for Roar for Good, and what are the next steps, next plans which you have in line for the next few quarters, for the next few years? So if you can highlight more on how, where, in what direction is the business going?
I think in retail, like I said, there are two flips. Basically, one is online, one is second is offline. So the online journey, of course, within India and outside India, we are exploring. Offline journey are the same thing within India and outside India. Offline, there are a lot of components. There are multi-branded outlets, the shopping shops. There are EBOs, there are franchisee routes, and there are distribution, right? So, and the export part of it. So there are about 5-6 channels within the offline. So we are exploring, because every product cannot be sold in every channel. So there are a lot of hard work and there are a lot of strategies going behind it. What can be sold at, distribution can be sold at EBOs, and what can be sold at, franchisees and all. That's working is going on. Our aim is what people like, as Mr. Dutta mentioned, we are looking at partner who has the same ideology, who is very passionate about eco-friendliness and want to do something for the mother earth and the people around. I think we are looking at some kind of partner who can grow with us. Like I again mentioned, since it is a new brand, a lot of people will always be skeptical. So we are always giving them the guarantee that we want to take the route of FOCO, which is franchisee owned, company operated. So he doesn't have to worry about it. We will ensure that the investments are safe, and I will rush for them to make it successful. Because, like I said, it's about telling the story. So if I'm not able to tell the story to the customer, then it is just a product. So the initial wording, we want to ensure that we want to tell the story to the restaurant. Okay? So that is where we do. So we will be taking all the routes, like I said, but it will be product specific, which route will have what sort of products. And based on that, strategy will be rolling out. So as we move forward, first is a franchisee route within India. Like I said, on the online, we are currently on all the marketplaces. We are on Ajio, we are on Myntra, we are on Amazon, we are on Flipkart. We are just getting into Nykaa, So we are trying to get the top market fashion portals, and we just move aspect of it. And we are our own portal also, our own market brand. So that's the online. And even in cross border, we'll try to get a couple of onlines there. But cross border, one thing we have understood is that there are a number of point of sales offline. So we are in negotiation with a lot of people, how can we expand on the offline part, international. That's going on. No, we are taking the franchising route in the next couple of months. We want to get about 5 to 6 partners on board, give it a try order, and then move out there. That's our plan in the Indian part of it. So we will take the franchise. We are more happy to do a FOCO route, but it's all up to the partner what he wants to like it, and then we take it up. But I think the first 2-3 stores we want to run it around to make it successful, and to tell the people that eco-friendly doesn't mean that India has never seen it, chalega, nahi chalega, and all this. So we want to make sure we're very confident. We are very, very pretty sad. We are also fashion. It's not that eco-friendly means ki fashion nahi hoga, performance nahi hoga. No, we are also fashion. We are also eco-friendly.
No, amazing. I think you have said it in a very beautiful way. In fact, the consumer today is more aware. In fact, the consumer today is uh, already, there is a lot of awareness in terms of what they are eating, what they are wearing, and especially the newer generation. There is always how they are essentially taking things ahead, and like what kind of brands they are associating with. It's something which is very critical to everyone, and with more awareness coming into the ecosystem, they are of course looking for good brands to associate with. They are looking for sustainability, they are looking for doing good for the environment. So I think you've put it in a very beautiful way. And especially when you say that you will run it for for your partners, and you'll ensure that there is, you handhold and you bring profitability to them, that of course gives a lot of conviction to the partners as well to kind of get associated with you. So wonderful. I think you've put this together really well. So now it's time for some rapid fire round. I'll of course expect some quick answers from the both of you. So yeah, let's just dive into it. So if you have to choose between the two, fashion or sustainability. So what would you personally like while wearing? Is there something which Mr. Pillai, your answer?
For me, it is both. It has to be fashion and it also has to be sustainable. So it basically, if I had to summon it up, it is basically sexy, smart, eco is the only way.
Okay, Mr.
Well, I think for me, at my age, at time, I mean, I would look at more eco-friendly, sustainable products. Something very close to my heart.
Amazing, amazing. One raw product which you're like most proud of. So one of your favorite product, Mr. Pillai, and one of your favorite product, Mr. Datta. Yeah, Mr. Pillai. Yeah.
It is little respect. It is little. I don't know. I want to call it naughty or not. My favorite product is my bamboo innerwear. You know, that's a more secret thing inside. You know, because anything inside has to be very comfortable. The bamboo is doing my purpose now. It is giving us a comfort. But I think that what we want to really change is basically our eco sneaker, which is basically going to come out in the next week or 10 days. And that's
Right.
going to tell our story. So that's my favorite. Sorry.
Interesting, Mr.
For me, it's the cotton, the organic cotton shirt, and the rubber-based sole sneakers. Well, that's something which is extremely delighting for me.
Amazing, amazing. The toughest challenge of being an eco entrepreneur, Mr. Pillai.
Fighting fast fashion. I'm also fighting about it. You know, so because I think fast fashion is 99.90%, 99.99% of the country, right?
Right,
I
right.
think to build that and get into them is where it is going to be my toughest challenge, and also balancing my budget, right? You know, so I think that is where going to be my toughest challenge.
Yes. So, Mr. Datta, the toughest challenge of being an eco entrepreneur.
Absolutely. The building awareness, understanding about eco-friendly and sustainability of consumers, and how do you actually blend it with your expenses on meta costs, social media costs, and really build that and balance both the things together.
Very interesting. Very interesting. What is both of yours favorite eco material, Mr. Pillai?
For me, it is hemp, nature's badass all round. So for me, it's hemp basically. Yeah, beautiful.
Amazing, Mr. Datta.
Organic cotton, because that helps me while I go out for a walk, where I go to the airport, I even come to the office. I think
Right.
it's very comfortable, and I actually enjoy wearing that.
Amazing, amazing. So, if not this, what would you do, Mr. Pillai?
I think this is the only way. But if not, it was not there, then I would have been building greenhouses and making a guilt-free chocolate or something like that.
Amazing, amazing, Mr. Datta.
Well, my passion, as I continue to, it's very synergistic along with what I've been doing in the last 4 decades, is essentially coaching, guiding, helping, mentoring, supporting business and people. And it's all blended towards health and happiness for business as well as for people. And that's what I'll continue to do.
Amazing, amazing. And Mr. Pillai, dream celebrity for your RFG brand, like.
Oh, it's a tough question, very tough question. I would say Rihanna in Roar. So I think Rihanna would be very good for us in Roar. Came over for us if we can get her. I think in India, it's a little bit tight for us to find the right, celebrities and all this sort of thing. But I think if I have to put it in a very comic way, it is Rihanna.
Amazing, amazing, Mr. Datta. For you, dream celebrity for RFG.
Well, I think people, it's very difficult to say because there are a lot of brand ambassadors that you see. They promote eco-friendly, but they also have multiple other brands and other interests that they do. I would yet to kind of see some people who, from the core of the heart, who will actually take this, imbibe in their life, practice it, and demonstrate it.
Just you have to, if you have to take a name, like a dream celebrity name, like you just have to pick one with a gun on your head and you have to just pick one.
Sonu Sood.
Very interesting. That's amazing. Good choice. Yeah, very interesting. So one demand you would make of every fashion brand, like, so Mr. Pillai, yeah.
I think stop greenwashing. Stop greenwashing. Start green. Stop greenwashing.
Amazing. Like how in the tech industry we have
greenwash. They do a lot of greenwash.
I know. Yeah, that's very true. Like in the tech industry, there is a lot of AI washing which happens. So
Yes.
so we just put AI in front of everything and we say that there's AI in it and there's no AI in it. So I understand what how greenwashing is done. So I mean, good. I think very interesting request you have put for the fashion brands, Mr. Datta. In like one request you would like to make for the fashion brands industry.
For the fashion brands, I think we use quite a high focus kind of a things, materials in eco-friendly material in packaging, pricing tags, and the like. We would actually like people to use those kind of packaging, because even our price, the tags that we use in our fabrics and our products, if you put it in and reuse it, you are actually going to be creating more of plants and planters and trees out of that. So I think focus on eco-friendly material even while we are even in the packaging area.
Amazing. Amazing. No, very nicely put. And I think we've got really good answers from you in the rapid fire round. So thanks for this. Pillai Dattaji, thank you for this powerful and inspirational conversation. For our listeners who want to support sustainability, fashion, buy a product, and even become a Roar for Good partner, you can visit roarforgood.in and learn more about the brand, about the partnership, and kind of join the brand. This is your moment. Support style with substance and join the fashion revolution. Thanks a lot, Pillaji. Thanks a lot, Dattaji. It was fun to have you on the podcast and learn a lot from the both of you. And glad to kind of have you part of the Success Playbook by Expertrons and Shine. Our listeners will of course get to learn a lot from this episode. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Jatin. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
Thanks.